Good morning, Matt Makins here, Weather 5280. We're watching the storm system as it clears the state over the next 18 to 24 hours. The center of the storm system is here, southeastern Colorado and southwestern Kansas, and we'll watch the storm progress as it goes off to the east. Meanwhile, note these areas of snowfall here on the backside, some of that wraparound moisture as we go forward in time. So let's get going, and we'll animate just over the next couple of hours. So this is going to be roughly midnight tonight, and we have the storm system well to our east now, leaving the state clearer, not necessarily in terms of all the cloud cover or remaining fog, but the wind will be calmer, the sky gradually clearing off as well. As you go through Thursday as in total, into Friday, and also into Saturday, mostly quiet conditions. I'm pausing Saturday morning. Watch out here to the west. You're going to see some areas, some pockets of rain and snow from the Great Basin through the Sierras, Cascades, and Rockies. And as we watch that area, it begins to move into Colorado as we get into later Saturday and Sunday. Another storm system centered here over southeastern Colorado, southwestern Kansas, that will follow roughly a similar track. So that'll be the next chance for rain and snow across Colorado, coming in late Saturday, going through Sunday into Monday morning. We'll have more on that later. For now, let's take a zoomed in look and just go through the next 24 hours or so. This image you're looking at on your screen is basically like a radar projection, an estimated radar picture, if you will, showing rain and snow. Rain over southeastern Colorado may blend in with snowfall at times, and we'll have some accumulation here possible. But this deeper blue area that you see, that's what moved through Denver and the Front Range this morning, gained some intensity over the plains, and watch that area as we go forward in time. Right now, we're looking at about noon on Wednesday. Let's go up to about, let's say, 3 o'clock. And you can see that area of rain and snow continues over the eastern plains, with Denver barely on the edge of that rain and snowfall. It would be snow in Denver, if anything. Flurries likely this afternoon with cloud cover and some fog. As I progress that timeline and go into the overnight period, let's stop here. This is 11 o'clock tonight. We're kind of just seeing the leftover traces of snowfall here. They continue most likely east of Denver, so around Greeley down to about Lyman and east of, and they'll be pushing on out as we go throughout the evening. So we're not quite done with the snow chance in the city just yet. It does continue, but it does diminish as we go through the overnight, and then into Thursday midday, we have mostly clear skies back. Just briefly looking at some of the travel conditions, it was bad in Douglas County. You got to remember, snowpack that is there, that's icy, that's existing. The second you put even the lightest amount of snowfall on top will be problematic. Drivers in Douglas County this morning had some issues with that. As you look over the eastern plains, we do have some impact areas growing, and that's around Fort Morgan to Akron, also over the southeastern plains. That coincides with that heavier snowfall for later today. Looking at alerts, we do have winter weather advisories continuing in the high country and also over the plains. Those are the purple colored boxes there. Those county outlines indicate areas where travel will be most impacted due to heavier snowfall and wind. Speaking of wind, from Pueblo to Walsenburg and Trinidad, out over Ordway, La Junta, Las Animas, and Lamar, we do have high wind warning in place there. Gusty winds down to the southeastern corner of the state. We may have some wind gusts around the metro area too, particularly around Colorado Springs, but from Denver to Fort Collins, relatively sheltered from the strongest wind today. And finally, let's check out the snowfall forecast. And as you're looking here, this is Wednesday morning through Thursday morning. And throughout that time, we had some of that accumulation in Douglas County around Castle Rock to Kiowa, and we saw those totals climb. We're going to see kind of the swath of heavier snowfall, a couple to a few inches possible. That's mostly going to be barely east of Denver, barely east of DIA. You get out closer to Fort Morgan, down to around Lyman and Hugo, and those areas have several inches potentially. And we may see some of that accumulation with that rain snow mix down to around Eads and Lamar before the system pushes off. As far as the high country, that snow will be waning throughout the day, starting to decrease, but still several inches possible from the morning Wednesday to midday and afternoon Wednesday in some pockets up there. And finally, where do we go from here? Wednesday, certainly one of the coolest days on the planner, but a rapid climb into those middle 50s as we get into Friday, Saturday. Another cool off with that next system. Remember, we talked about some snow and some rain coming in for Sunday. So that'll be the next snow and rain chance coming in Sunday, especially late Sunday for the Denver metro area. We'll have further details on that as we get closer in time on Weather 5280. In the meantime, be safe on those roads. Watch out for the ice. We're going to melt a little bit of that off over the coming days.